We don't try to make blue light sexy. We don't try to make it hot and cool. It's really messy. It's really raw. There's a lot of people who are at their jobs within this workplace, but you get to see the character behind the uniform. You get to see their home life. You get to see them messing up. And I think it's the vulnerabilities of that people relate to it.
Up right leg, possible forearm body inward.
Yeah, we're living together, which is class.
3 best friends.
3 musketeers.
Hey. Hey. Do you want some? There's loads.
Where are you going?
There's just a lot more action, a lot more
Racing cars. Racing cars.
Hey, you're much better than me.
Do you think so?
I've done some of the driving.
I feel like you've done quite a lot of the driving now.
A wee bit. This series see the toll that the job can take and how that affects her mental health, which is such an epidemic worldwide, but specifically here in the north, I think it's a massive issue. We can see how drastically she can change and how she copes with that, how it affects her relationships and how it affects her career. And it's just really important to show that humane side.
Aisling, your behaviour is dangerous.
A massive part of what is going on within Annie's storyline for season 3 is grief and how she copes with grief. It's such a human feeling there's so many people that experience it. In my personal life, I've also experienced it, and being able to, in a healthy way, use what has happened to me within Annie's storyline and to hopefully authentically portray that. It's also just showcasing how people deal with grief, and it's so different for everybody, and there's certain people that go into complete and utter distraction mode. Their work is like a great opportunity to do that. There definitely is that with Annie, but then also because she was so close to her mum, it's very difficult for her to separate her work life to her home life, so they start to very much overflow into one another.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. At the beginning, we still meet Aisling as her bubbly self, really upbeat. She was maybe a bit out of her comfort zone moving up to Belfast, but she's definitely settled, still with Tommy, and just navigating her way through the challenges that are coming.
Just enjoy yourself, love, okay?
Bye.
No kissing now, constables, all right?
Away and you.
It's the beauty of good writing, and if it's authentic as well, it can translate to so many different people in different countries, which is amazing. And it also shows not just Belfast, but Ireland, Northern Ireland, in such a complex light. You get to see the cultural side of things, but then also different aspects that's happening at the minute, which you wouldn't really get to see in everyday TV shows.